Okay, guys, this is Friday's wrap up from the live trading chat room at GreatStockPicks.com. I'll tell you, I wish there was a way that we could find out, that they would tell us before the market opens that the SPY was going to print a candle like this one. Look at today's candle. Basically, closed where it opened and had an extremely narrow range. I mean, compare it with just about any candle you see in this. I can't call it a circle, but you get the point. Look how narrow today's range was. It was just one of those days. We identified it as such pretty early, just from trading. A couple members noted how they were, had a lot fewer trades after the first couple hours than they normally do that time of day. That's just because nothing was going. But the beauty of it is we don't just guess. We wait for setups, and when they don't occur, we don't trade. So I literally made I think I made 3 trades today. I made 4 trades today. And for the room, I made a total of 4 or 5 calls. All right. And I'll show them to you right here. The first one I called this morning was Leap. LEAP. Let's go to 5-minute candles. LEAP was strong out of the gate, and on this pullback here, I went ahead and I called it at 642 over this little narrow candle, and the stop nice and tight, 635. You can see what happened. Went through the high of the day, and eventually the highest it got was 657. So talk about a narrow range, but I did make some money on this one. I took it to 642, sold some as it broke the high of the day here. A big dime, but I had decent size on it, and it wasn't a bad way to start the day. PTEN, I called over this little narrow candle right here at 1806 and a stop at 1798. And over the next 10 minutes, it went to 1813 as it came back down. I ended up with a flat in that one. Didn't make any money, didn't lose any money. My best call of the day, VRSN. VRSN had this huge gap down. And then when it came up here, I'll zoom in a little bit here. When it came up here, hit 34, then printed this red candle with a high of 33.99. I called it again long at 34 with a stop at 33.70. Here's what happened. These are 5-minute candles. So right there it hits 34, doesn't stop out, and then finally released. This doesn't look like a big move, but it went from 34 to 34.75. We were all scaling out into that, just like we teach. I'll go to 2-minute candles to show it to you. So there you can see the trigger, and you can kind of see the shape a little better here. This nice move from 34 to 34.75, and I made a nice chunk of money on that one too, and ended up coming back. My last few shares, I went ahead and put a break-even stop at 34 and got stopped out flat right there on my last few shares. But the rest of them scaled out nicely on the way up, just like we teach. All right, and then let's see the rest of the day. KCG, I said on a high of day break it might work. This one there's already an offer to buy them out on the table, but they might get another offer, and sometimes these things can get going. So you can see the daily here. After the gap up, it's put in a few lower highs, and my thinking was here just over the high of day 335 with a stop below this base, and it never did do anything. It just went straight sideways the rest of the day. So that was just a flat. And then MTOR, when it looked like this, I said a high of day break might work here, and it went up like a nickel, which I guess isn't that bad on a $4 stock. I ended up doing nothing with that one either, though. And then very end of the day for OEH, I called it. It had this nice spike. The daily looked pretty good. It was very near these recent highs of this crazy spike here, so looked like it had room to run. And after this spike, it became interesting to me. I called it a 12.33 with a 12.25 stop. Here's what happened. It triggered, busted through the high of the day, didn't follow through, and I ended up taking a flat when it came back down. And that was it. Big, exciting day. But between my early scalp in Leap and then that VRSN into this nice pop here for 75 cents, that was enough to have a decent day. I certainly could have had a better day, but again, when the SPY does what it did here, at the very end of the day, it rallied. I mean, look how crazy this trading was. Just never got going anywhere, and then in the last 10 minutes, it ramps up and then comes right back down. By the way, I was already done. I was out of the office probably right about here on this candle. I told everybody this is obviously one of those Fridays where it's just going to chop around, total chop fest. And and I just went ahead and said, hey, I'm going to take my wife out to lunch, and that's what I did. We had a fantastic week in chat, and there was just no reason to try to trade a virtually untradeable environment. I have a feeling next week we're going to have some real nice trades. It's been great trading lately. So with the exception of today, and still nicely green. So anyway, I babbled long enough. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday.